Hi cosy people, so today we're going to talk about how my book got selected for Amazon First Reads. So every month Amazon offers a free ebook to Amazon Prime members. You don't need a Kindle, you don't need a Kindle subscription, you just need to have a Amazon Prime subscription, so like the postage thing. That's all you need to get a free ebook once a month. These ebooks are a selection of about 6 to 10 books, so those members can get the book for free and a month early if they'd like to. And then on to the juicy part, which is how I got picked. So it says on the website that the Amazon First Reads are editors' picks. To understand this, we have to understand what an editor is, and this is talking about the type of editor who is like the project manager of a book. So when you traditionally publish your book, you get a main editor, and they're called an editor, but they are much more like the big project manager. They handle like everything to do with the book. They don't so much, if at all, handle minor things. So things like changing like little words, punctuation, that's not this editor's job. That's a different editor's job. So anyway, your main editor is the person who can put your book forward for Amazon First Reads if they like it, and if they think that your book would be a good fit for Amazon First Reads. But here's the catch, I guess. I'm not sure if this is any publisher or if Amazon just published their own books with this Amazon First Reads scheme. So Amazon Publishing, you can kind of think of it as having these two separate branches. You've got the self-publishing, that's separate, so we'll slide that away. And then you've got the traditional publishing. It's these traditionally published books, and each of them are managed by an editor that typically end up in Amazon First Reads. So my publisher is a traditional publisher with Amazon. That's confusing for some people just because Amazon are also one of the biggest self-publishing sites. But my deal was traditionally published, and everything to do with Amazon Publishing is mostly, if not entirely, a traditionally published thing. So essentially, I just happen to be with this publisher who runs the scheme, Amazon Publishing, and then my editor, firstly, they have to like your book and think it's a good fit. Then they put it forward, they submit it, and it goes off. I don't know what happens in the submission process very much, but your editor submits it, and then it's up to wider team to say if that book is going to be selected. So essentially, I didn't really do anything other than getting my book deal with Amazon Publishing, and it was a traditional deal. I can talk about some of the questions I asked though. So when I got this deal, firstly I said, does anyone ever turn this down? They said, no, not really, and we'll get on to the reasons why. And I also said, but first and foremost, it's kind of down to if they can see the book appealing to a wide audience, if they're happy with how the book is written. It's kind of down to the book itself. So the next question I got a lot was, did I know that I was picked for Amazon First Reads? And yes, I absolutely did know. It was first mentioned in 2024, early 2024, as like a passing comment, and then didn't really think about it very much until early 2025, or like a couple months in to early 2025, when I was officially asked if I'd like to be included. I've also had people ask, did I get a say in it, or was I just automatically put forward for this? And I guess your submission is automatically put forward for you, and then it's up to you whether to accept or decline. But because virtually no one, or potentially no one at all, declines it, they do go through the submission process, and then you just get told you've been accepted. Would you like to accept this? And then someone has asked, because so many people are getting the book for free. It is a free download, it's not a sale. So each one, it doesn't work in the same way as a sale. So when you get a sale, that would be a contribution towards any of the, we'll say Amazon, we'll stick to that. So for example, every time I get a sale, it would contribute to my place on the Amazon bestsellers list, but a free download doesn't. People would download the book and my position in any Amazon charts would not change based on a free download. Something like Kindle Unlimited is different, and these do count as sales. And I just wanted to give a huge thank you to everybody who has either read or listened to the book with Kindle Unlimited. It really means so much to me. So thank you so much if that's you. And then the next question is, does it typically boost or kill sales? So it's pretty amazing how this works because so many people get it for free. I'm talking about thousands. I don't know how many thousands, but it's an incredibly big number of people get the book for free, and yet it still boosts sales. That exposure is still priceless, essentially. So even with all of those free copies, it still boosts sales. I've gone through these questions quite quickly here, but someone else said, are there any downsides to it? And essentially, no. But it kind of depends what the author is looking for and what the author considers success. For example, because you have so much exposure on an international level, things can get confused, and you would typically get more negative reviews for a couple of reasons. One, because it's not everyone's favourite book. They've just chosen it out of a selection of, say, 8. So there's the fact that these people haven't chosen it as their ideal book. It is just the book that they liked the best out of this bunch. But even more than that, on an international level, things can get confused. It's very common, it's like a commonly known thing that a lot of people from different countries will assume that British spellings are mistakes. And you can get a lot of negative reviews because they think this book is full of mistakes, or it can go beyond spelling and they just think they don't understand the schooling system. For example, my book was a college book set at university. A lot of people didn't understand the British schooling system, so you're going to get a real mixed bag of readers. That being said, the books typically still do really well. I did look at the whole list of Amazon First Reads the month before my book, and I'm pretty sure all of them had a rating above, I can't remember, something like 3.8. My book fluctuates between 4 stars and 4.1 stars, so the star rating is still doing very well. Talking of reviews, I have had my reviews come in from the community of literary buffs and also the Bookish Elf. They're a bit like an article, kind of mixed between an article and a blog post kind of review. They are very in-depth, very comprehensive, and I was really happy with my reviews, so they are up if anyone would like to read them. I will put a portion of it on the screen so that you can see those if you'd like to. And then before we leave, I thought I would share something with you because I have a new blurb online. Not that many people know about it yet, so I thought I would share that here. So essentially, this blurb that is here is now different to the blurb that's online. So I will be lit up by my tablet as I read this, but this is going to be my first time reading this out loud, and I'll put it on the screen as well. So it says, "Some sparks can't be ignored. When Penny leaves her family behind and opens the door to her first college class, she's armed with 3 things: her snazzy new wheelchair, unshakable determination, and a plan for independence. What she doesn't expect is her instant connection to CJ, the charming actor who shows her around the labs. Their attraction is undeniable, but Penny's convinced they won't work. She lives life at a measured pace, while he's always in motion, bouncing between social events and meeting producers. They're better off as lab partners than love interests, right? But as their friendship deepens, Penny and CJ discover there might be more to their story. Between late-night study sessions and shared dreams, they begin to question their original assumptions. Could learning to lean on each other be exactly what they both need? Because sometimes the heart knows what it wants, even when the mind needs convincing. A heartwarming coming-of-age story, perfect for fans of sweet college romances. The chemistry test will have you believing in the science of happily ever after. Okay, considering that was my first time reading it, I feel like I did okay, but I don't know. I'm not the audiobook narrator for my book. Some people have asked that as well, if I was going to be the audio narrator, and the answer is no. There was no world where I was the narrator. I have got so breathless just doing this short video and had to lie down and take breaks. So sadly, being an audio narrator was not in I was going to say in my future, or like part of the deal. It wasn't in the cards for me. So with that new blurb, I really like how they put in the part about study sessions and shared dreams, because that does sum up what the book is like. It's a very cozy, heartwarming feeling book. The characters aren't bound by any conventions of any sort. Neither of them have conventional hobbies. We have CJ, who rescues and fosters kittens, and then we have Penny, who runs a blog. As they said, the shared dreams thing. There's a scene where they get takeout pizza together and they're just lying on the floor sharing these dreams, and the book kind of shows that life doesn't have to be built up of all of these conventional things. You don't have to do sports for it to count as a hobby. It can just be a shared love of something with someone else. She has movie nights with her flatmates. She's seen putting makeup on and enjoying that process. So I really like that we get a glimpse into that coziness in the new blurb. I hope you enjoyed hearing all about Amazon First Reads and the book itself. If you have any other questions, please do ask, or if there's anything you want to talk about to do with my book if you've now read it, I would love to chat to you in the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!